One of the largest crypto YouTubers, known as BitBoy Crypto, is making the rounds on the internet because at BitBoyCon, I think it was some event he was throwing for himself, but he got very upset when someone called him a scammer. Now, if you don't know quite a lot about BitBoy, you might know him as the YouTuber who tried to sue another YouTuber to shut him up because he was calling him a scammer. Seems like there's a little bit of a pattern here of people calling him a scammer and him getting all upset about it. And the good thing about him suing a Tozy is that it went super public and everyone got to see who he really is. Because instead of being a normal person and going to a Tozy and saying, this is why I'm not a scammer, can you take the video down? Or even going publicly and addressing it saying, this is why I'm not a scammer and proving all the points wrong, he went the legal way and threw a lawsuit at someone who has less money and less of a voice and tried to bully them to shut them up. But at this conference, there was somebody who actually came up in the crowd who said that he was a scammer. And of course, he had to address it and he got very defensive in trying to do that.
No, I will tell you, man, you have no idea what you're talking about right now. Okay, give it, let's go, get it, let's go. This is a real winner right here. This is a real winner.
Hey,
I can tell you right now, you have no idea what you're talking about, man. People like you, this is the toxicity in the States, guys. I want you all to understand. This is the toxicity in the States.
You shout at them, and then you try to shut them down.
Well, you try to steal our channels or
options. You know, if anyone right
go ahead,
now
let's
goes to Google and searches for BitBoy scam, you will find all that information.
the father.
So right away from this, you can see he's standing up, yelling at the person. So clearly all the acts of somebody who's completely innocent and not a scammer, because if someone was to call you a scammer and you weren't one, you immediately get defensive and start yelling at them, right? But it gets even better because he does try and call her out by saying that she can prove it and tries to call her out later and then immediately regrets it and starts throwing out wild accusations.
I think, is this person a loser?
No. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, well, why are you there if we're up here? Why? No, why? I want to know.
Big Bodyguard takes a tumble there, but the immediate response to try and say how much better he is than everybody else, saying, why are we here and you're there? You're listening to me. I'm talking. I'm clearly superior in every way, which is the big problem with BitBoy right now is he thinks he's just better than everybody else. And for some reason, he tries to push that off and he thinks that he is, even though it's just so ridiculous that he tries to keep doing that because no one sees him like that. Ever since he got exposed for trying to use lawsuits to shut people up and bully people with less money and less of a voice, that exact line literally describes everything about BitBoy. Then this person later comes up, I guess he invites her up, and then he actually asks her to provide proof, in which she starts doing because he thought he would call her bluff, but she wasn't bluffing, and then immediately he just goes into extreme defensive mode and starts throwing out any accusation saying, look, anyone can do it.
Please go and check all the things that he has done.
No one needs.
Check it. Where's the evidence? Let's hear it. Where's the evidence? Give the evidence. Give the evidence. This is your moment. Prove I'm baby. Show me a media sheet. Show me a media sheet and say that's evidence.
All right, let's go and see, right? So guys, we can just go and check all the evidence posted by Zach XP.
A thread from a year ago.
It doesn't matter whether it's a year ago, right?
No, hold on. When you do
Please
this,
go and check all the evidence.
okay, so you're a child molester. You're a child molester. You're a child molester.
Okay, can you let me complete now?
No, I don't have to back it up with evidence. It's just something that I said.
You know what?
She's a murderer. She's a murderer.
Look at you, you're shaking. You know when people shake? Those are psychological evidences. We know when you're wrong, you shake.
I guess when in doubt, start calling everyone a child molester. That seems to be BitBoy's way out of this, but it's so funny because he thought that this was just some random person and that she didn't have any evidence. And he said, show me the evidence. And as soon as she said Zach XBT, he went, holy cow, she has the evidence. Because even in there, he says, well, that's from a year ago. So did you just admit that you did scam everyone a year ago and whatever was previous from that, from all things from Zach XBT? Are you admitting that you scammed everyone a year ago? Or does it not matter because it's a year ago? Because obviously it still matters. It still happened. Just because it happened a year ago doesn't mean you didn't scam anybody. And this is the thread that he is desperately so scared of that he had to call someone a child molester. Is this right here where Zach XBT showed that, oh, BitBoy charges for reviews on his channel. Tens of thousands of dollars that he's making, put money in his pocket. And if you look at his returns on the things he's promoted, you would have lost basically all of your money. So you can go through this thread, and this has a bunch of proof from it, a bunch of things that he's done. You can see he's deleting videos because he's scared of repercussions. So obviously he knows what he's doing might not be the best thing and on the up and up. But there is actually a chart here that we can see. Chart you can see right here where you can just see BitBoy Crypto just has the best returns. You can't get anything better than a BitBoy Crypto promotion. So obviously all of these are massively down, and this isn't even all of the coins and stuff they tried to push and promote where he made his money. He got paid, but if you listen to him, you lost basically all of your money. So that's the big difference here. And that's where people are obviously upset. And he got caught and finally called out by everyone on the internet when he filed a lawsuit to try and shut someone up to prove that he is just trying to be a bully instead of actually not be a scammer. Even funnier, he had some sort of response here talking about something about skeptics will crucify me for what I'm about to say, but I don't care. And then he talked about people who call him out and talked about the Bit Squad. And I think this talking about if you're in the Bit Squad, just know you played a role in history. Your support has been everything. Without it, I am nothing. We did this together. But she's talking about the Bit Squad in their bill single-handedly saved crypto and brought down FTX, which is funny because I seem to remember a different person who would love pushing for regulation, having his hand in the regulation calling. But he actually ended up being a huge scammer and a huge fraud, and he was not one of the good guys. And the one thing that we all need to know is that everybody is in this for themselves. So if BitBoy is pushing regulation, he's pushing regulation that would help him. That's going to help him do whatever he wants to do. Same thing with SBF. When he was pushing regulation, they are only in the game for themselves. So you can't idolize these people, and I don't think a lot of people are, but there are still some people that do, but they are in it for themselves. They don't care about you at all. They want to make sure that they can secure their spot to make the most amount of money possible. And this whole confrontation was 30 minutes long, so if you want to watch the whole thing, I'll link it in the description, but it's just BitBoy trying to say how great he is and the best person in the world, and my God, he is the Lord and Savior himself, and is really just insanely cringe that he just thinks he's so above everybody when he's simply not. Nobody is. No one is better than anybody else. Matter of fact, the way BitBoy acted in the past and how he's trying to shut up people who have anything to say about him probably says a lot more about who he really is. That's gonna do it for this video. As always, remember to smash the like button and subscribe. Remember to 1,000 subscribers, and see you guys in my next video.